Hey everybody, welcome to That Fantasy Show. I am your friendly local neighborhood YouTuber, Michael Amen, joined by...
Brian Wilczek.
And who else do we got with us here?
Miss Ella.
And it is Championship Sunday in the fantasy football world. But first, as we always like to start our show, Miss Ella, what do you say? You ready for the pledge?
Yes.
Let's get this thing started.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
America! Woo! Okay, and as usual, we're just going to jump right into Ella's Pick 6 this week because we're getting off to a little bit of a late start. We'll do a review and a preview right after Ella's done. But what do you say, Brian? You ready to check out what Ella's got?
Not quite. Camera
Okay.
frame's a little
Well,
funky on that
you
window.
take care of all of that, and I will just get us ready. Miss Ella, do you
There
want to know how
it
things
is.
are going?
Nah.
So far, you were on fire last week. You went 5-1, only one loss, which you needed that, and that brought your record to an even 500 on the season for, again, a 6-year-old girl who started the season knowing nothing. Brian, your niece is holding it down. What do you think about that?
I like it. It's impressive. Start from the bottom, now we're here.
Let's go. Let's see what she's got this week. We're going to keep this thing rolling and finish this thing out. No matter what, you got to keep going. Keep it moving. So, Ella, in your first matchup this week, when you see this, who is that and who do you got?
The Jets and the Buffaloes, and I think I'm going to go with the Buffaloes.
Let's go, Buffaloes.
Buffalo Bills.
Round it out. The next one, Ella, go on ahead.
The Titans and the Jaguars.
It's an automobile thingamajigs.
Little evolvement in Ella. It's the Tennessee Titans, but baby, you are so evolving. I love it. Tennessee Titans and Jacksonville Jaguars. What do you think?
It's the Titans, or the nickname of the Titans is gonna be the Car Thingamajigs, but I'm sorry, Car Thingamajigs, I'm going with the Jaguars.
Jaguars. I like it, Ella. Let's keep it moving. In your next selection, who's that? Who do you got?
I think the Panthers and the something Buccaneers.
You nailed it. How about that, Brian? She's rolling right along. Ella, well, tell us about this game. What do you think?
I like both of the teams like a lot, but I think I've done this before and I picked the Panthers. I'm gonna go with the Panthers again. So.
Panthers, book it. Ella likes the cat teams. We're going to roll with another cat team theme here. In your next matchup, Ella, I know you know these teams, but what do you think? Who's going to win?
The Browns and the Dolphins, and I'm picking the Browns.
Browns, we're going to roll with our original hometown, the Cleveland Browns. Book it as we roll right along to selection number 5, I believe. Ella, what do you think right here? Who's this?
The Falcons and the W's.
Okay, the W's. I love the W's. Longtime fan of the W's.
Or is it
Okay, Ella, who do you think?
the Falcons? Because Baby praised the Falcons.
Okay, we're going with the Divine Child Falcons in Ella's 5th selection. And for her last selection, Ella, of course.
The Lions and the 49ers.
And this is the Monday Night Football game this week. Lions are on the road going to the West Coast, Brian. What do you think about that?
We got an NFC Championship game rematch. Obviously, San Francisco missing a lot of offensive weapons. You know, I think the Lions go there, take care of business, extract some revenge,
It's a good
set
point.
it up for a season finale at home against the Vikings.
Lions.
I think Ella agrees with you, Brian. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that rounds us out. Ella had the Buffaloes, the Jaguars, the Panthers, the Browns, was it the Falcons?
Falcons over the W's.
And of course the Lions. We're going to keep that local flavor going here. Ella, as we try to round out the season with your pick 6. Thank you, sweetheart. Tell the people thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye, people. Have the best day ever.
Have the best day ever. Championship Sunday in Fantasyland as Miss Ella has to get ready to go to church.
Sounds like we're talking in a drum a little bit. We got a
Yeah.
little bit of a drum effect. That's okay. Holy mother of God.
Well, when I try to change that effect.
Alright, I think we just roll with it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that was Ella's pick six as we move right along, and I don't understand how we can stop that if I do this. Nope, if I do that, I don't do this. This is the best option that we got here for that. How do we turn that part down? I don't know right there. Anyway, so week 17, Championship Sunday, that fantasy show. We've moved right along. Technical difficulties this week as we are trying to figure some things out.
It's all good.
Sounds like we're talking in a pop can, but that's okay. I like pop. So where do you think we go from here, Brian? What do you say?
I don't know. I think there's some Pop-Tart hype in the social media world.
So yeah, if you caught some news yesterday, that Pop-Tart Bowl, that was trending all over the place, and not just for the football game, mostly for the Pop-Tarts. And a lot of the talk was everybody's got a favorite Pop-Tart flavor. Which one is yours? There's a whole thing where FanDuel posted an actual NCAA basketball bracket style tournament for the best Pop-Tart, and I saw that and I thought we could talk about that on the show for a second, and there's got to be a way that we can do something for that. And yeah, it really sucks that there's some kind of echo on the microphone here, but I don't know how to stop that. All my levels are fine here.
That's
Check,
alright.
check,
We're
check. Too much bass. Check. Well, I think we're good. We're just gonna roll. If you're ready for the Pop-Tarts, I'm ready for the Pop-Tarts, and we will just ride this train as it wrecks. It's okay.
we're almost ready. I just had to switch some things.
That's
since,
okay. You do your thing. So Pop-Tarts, it's kind of it's a quick grab and go breakfast. A lot of people don't have a lot of time. Just something you can do in the morning, or sometimes it's just a random snack for most people. In my older days, I don't find myself reaching out for them as much, but there was a point in my life where it was like, yo, we gotta have at least a couple flavors in the fridge. I'm more of a toast 'em guy and have them, but there's some people that will just open that pack right up and just eat them, and hey, to each their own. But I do got a couple favorite flavors, and while you're getting those graphics together, I can just set that up a little bit. You know, everybody, when I talk to people about this, I talk to people about 2 days about this, and there's a pretty consensus number 1 or 2 or 3. So the top 3, I feel like there's not much debate on those. It's just wherever else we fall in, there's a lot of debate.
There's the bracket.
Yeah,
We got
there's the
a
bracket.
field of 16 of the top selected Pop-Tart flavors. I don't know, going into this, I don't know what picks Mike made. Mike made a bracket. I said I did not need enough Pop-Tarts to really weigh in on this in an effective manner, but I think for myself personally, I kind of like the fruity flavors, the chocolatey flavors. I don't know, it's kind of weird for me. I might be going against the popular consensus, but we'll see what plays
Well,
out.
if you have an opinion while we talk about this, please weigh in. We definitely don't agree on everything. I do have an opinion on some of these, but out of these 16 flavors, there's a lot of flavors of Pop-Tarts. I've only had 10. So, I mean, I'll be honest too when we come to a matchup here. But I went ahead for the sake of the show in sports because I love sports and competition, and you throw a bracket in front of me, I don't care what it is, I'm picking out of it, and someone's going to be a winner. So this is one half of the bracket. The number 1 and the number 16 seed, we're going frosted strawberry, frosted grape. First off, never even had frosted grape, and it's ranked 16 for a reason, because it's going up against a juggernaut in frosted strawberry. I'd be a fool to not have frosted strawberry moving on. On this half of the bracket, also in the 8-9 seed, strawberry milkshake and frosted chocolate chip. I've only had strawberry milkshake, so for that reason, that'll be my selection there. There'll be another slide where we'll break this down where I have my selections here, but you can go to the next slide, Brian, and that'll be the next half of the bracket. I'll get into 4 and 13, 5 and 12 here after that. But in the next slide, this is the other half of the bracket, some notable matchups. The Frosted Wildberry, shocking number 2 seed for me because I've only had that once. I didn't know that was that big.
There's some funky colors on that one. Not sure how that would taste.
Yeah, that one looks definitely more artificial than all the rest of these. Just covering some of the bases, these, the s'mores in the 3 seed, that frosted cookies and cream in the 6 seed. This is the bracket. So if we move right along to the next seed, this is where we'll go right over my selections that I made, and we'll whittle this down. I got a Final Four, I got a champion, and yeah, I got a.
Okay, I'm just checking the flavors here. We have some love in the chat for, I don't know, brown sugar's the best. We got apple cinnamon and frosted cherry of some favorites of
Oh my
Carrie.
God.
I don't even see them on the bracket here.
Those people are spitting fact. No, that frosted strawberries there. We're gonna get to
one
it.
of them.
And in
Yeah,
that,
what a travesty. Anyway,
yeah. So as we go to this, in this half of the bracket, these are my picks. In the 1 and 16 matchup, I picked number 1. In the 8 and 9 matchup, I picked number 8, as I already said. But 4 and 13, this is that frosted brown sugar cinnamon, and the number 13 frosted blueberry. For me, this is a no doubter. Number 4. Again, this is a lot of people's consensus number 1, as you just found out in the chat right there. So
I mean, I like blueberry, but again, I don't think I've had either one.
Blueberry's pretty solid. I definitely have blueberry, but that brown
Tough
sugar.
matchup, 4-13 there. That's a tight one.
It's a tough seed for that brown sugar coming in at 4. And then also, I don't like that the 5 seed, the frosted strawberry against the unfrosted, or the frosted cherry against the unfrosted strawberry. Obviously, I like the cherry, but that's going to pit at 4 and 5 the brown sugar against the frosted cherry, and I don't understand that at all. So,
Man.
but anyway, in this half of the bracket, I went chalk, basically 1, 4, 5, and 8. And if we go to the next half of the bracket, I've done the same thing. Not as much chalk. I went with the wild berry. In the 3 matchup, I took the frosted s'mores over the frosted raspberry.
Okay. We got an upset here.
And
in
then
the 7-10 game.
The upset, yeah, that confetti cupcake. Honestly, I've never had either of these in the 7-10 matchup, so this was one where I had to pick which one would I buy in the store.
Okay. Hey, that's the.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're staring at them on a
Justifiable,
shelf.
right?
You're staring at them on a shelf. Which one are you gonna buy, Brian? Which one would you buy?
Frosted hot. Well, again, I think I like the fruit flavors a little more, but it looks like, I don't know, frosted confetti cupcake. Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Probably
So-
hot fudge. I might probably go with hot fudge in this instance.
Yeah, and then in that 6-11 matchup, I had to go ahead and take that frosted cookies and cream. Anyway, so there we are. And then if we can move along to the next one, in the quarterfinal matchup there, I took the frosted strawberry over the frosted strawberry milkshake. That was a no-doubter. The 4-5 matchup here, it's so tough for me because I'll be honest, these are my favorite 2 flavors. They should be in the final. I hate that they're matched up together in the
brown
quarterfinals, but I went ahead with the brown sugar. And then the other quarterfinal
Look for
matchup.
brown sugar in the chat.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's a good one. The chat's gonna know. I went chalk here, 2 and 3. Go ahead, give me that frosted wild berry. Speaking of that frosted banana bread, I love banana bread, everything, but I had that one and it is terrible. If you've never had it, people, you don't have to try it. It does not taste like banana bread. It's disgusting. And I'm usually pretty easily pleased with food products, but I don't want no part of that.
With the 2 over the 10, 3 over the 6 here, but yeah, that 15 rank is justifiable. Probably should have left it off the list.
Yeah, there's other flavors I would have put on the list. So now in the quarterfinals, if we're putting frosted wild berry against the s'mores, go on ahead and give me the s'mores.
Take the s'mores, book them.
In this matchup, if I'm putting that frosted strawberry against the brown sugar cinnamon, I'm not a dummy. I'm taking that brown sugar cinnamon.
Hey, two
So
chocolatey flavors going head to head for the championship.
and then in the championship, I had to go ahead and pick that frosted brown sugar cinnamon.
Frosted brown sugar cinnamon. I think the chat is
I'd be a
pleased
fool.
with your picks here.
Chat, obviously, without even knowing what you guys thought, I was already in that direction. It's the best one. I like it warm. I don't like most Pop-Tarts not warm, but that one I'll have warm.
Yeah, I think the chat would have had brown sugar versus frosted strawberry in their championship match, but
That frosted strawberry is goated. For me, that's my number 3. But
Number
if you
3.
want to go ahead, there's one more slide. Like I said, this should have been my final. If the bracket would have lined up, the younger
frosted
me,
cherry. Okay.
the younger me, the frosted cherry. Oh my God, this was my favorite. The older me, more the brown sugar cinnamon. However, I haven't really had a Pop-Tart besides the last one I had was that banana bread one, and that was terrible.
If you know me, I don't have much of a sweet tooth, so it's not my snack of choice. But I respect it.
Yeah, felt like that was trending. I had to visit it. Anyway,
what's going on in the sports world? We had
a lot of games.
a lot
this
of
week.
games. We had Wednesday, Christmas Day games. We had Thursday night football. 3 Saturday games. We're going in on a kind of thin Sunday slate because of
Not
that.
too many games today.
And then Monday Night Football, the Detroit Lions. I'm repping my Amon-Ra St. Brown Detroit shirt today.
I'm excited for that Lions
Yeah.
game. I love when they're on a primetime game at night. I love that. Love that. But anyway, it was a big week. How about that Bengals game yesterday? My Who Dey
Oh my
boys.
God, I texted you about that one. That one kind of pissed me off the way they ended that game there. They got about a minute and a half left, 1st and goal, right? And then they run one out, some little running around with Chase Brown, and he decides a little too late to slide, and he gets fumbled. He gets tackled up on, gets hurt. They have to burn an injury timeout, and then instead of just running it again, taking a couple knees to kind of salvage the clock management, we just run in a QB sneak for a touchdown. And if you look back at it, just take 3 freaking knees, man, and you have 10 seconds on the clock, kick a field goal. You give them 10 seconds, you're going to run down the field. Instead, they get a minute 20 and a timeout. And dude looks like Bodix looked better than he did all game that drive. And then overtime, it's just like no one can do anything. You're like, oh my God.
And as I was texting you, I'm like, there's no way
Yeah.
we win this game. We've said before on the show, for clock management, especially after that Bears Thanksgiving Day fiasco, you should have to know how to, like...
I gotta say, this is worse. It was much worse.
It was much worse because, like, in Madden, you learn clock management the most because Madden, you can get those plays off within 7-8 seconds. You can get these guys to the line and you know exactly what you can do with, okay, I got this many timeouts and I'll be able to do this in this amount of time frame, and that was just terrible.
It was horrible. I honestly
Terrible.
just wanted the Bengals to lose to get more emphasis on how bad the end of that regulation was.
Yeah,
It was just
we
awful.
did everything in our power to lose that game, and somehow, I mean, I think the NFL's trying to look out for them because there could have been some mojo in there. There were some questionable calls in that game too that went my favor, but you know, it is what it is. You know, you get calls for you and against you, so you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, that was exciting. We're moving on. It comes to the last week. You know, there's 4 teams with a shot at a playoffs and only 1 spot available. So the AFC, that's been wonderful. That's what you want. The NFC's pretty much set. The AFC, that's pretty exciting, man. So
The NFC still got open spots for division winners. This NFC North is insane. You're gonna have, for the first time ever, there will be a 13-win. Well, I think if the Lions and the Vikings win this week, they'll each have 14 wins, and that means there will be a 14-win division loser that didn't 14 team that won 14 regular season games and did not win their
that's
division.
insane to
Yeah.
think of. Yeah, that division's tough. It's a gauntlet. The Packers, you have 3 teams in that division. The NFC playoffs are going to be wild. It's almost playoff season in the NFL, but for fantasy purposes, it's Championship Sunday.
I'm bogging down the computer. I'm trying to get the browser going in preparation for our championship matchup in the Dynasty Closing with Steve League.
Yeah, one of us was lucky to make the final. One of us wasn't. I'm the unlucky one. It is what it is, man. I scored 163 points. It wasn't enough to make the final.
Dude, any other week you're winning.
Almost any week, any time in fantasy, you put up 163, you're winning. But I went against the machine, literally the Allenville Mean Machine. And yeah, congrats to Gary Vroom Jr. on making the final. I'll give him a round of applause. We've had a couple guests on this show from time to time. We weren't able to quite get together with Gary in our time frame, or else we would have had him on the show to pick his brain how he thought about the matchup this week. But yeah, so yeah, we're in a matchup here, and Brian was lucky enough to make the finals, and that Closing with Steve league, a lot of clout being in the final in that league. That's a tough league.
Back to back. Hey, Gary and I, it's a rematch of the championship last year, actually.
Same 2 guys. Maybe next year you'll let somebody else go in the final, guys.
Yeah, maybe. Not if I have anything to do with it.
But yeah, so what do you say? You getting that browser ready? We'll be ready to check in on that.
Oh, we're trying, Gary.
Is there any way you can pause the stream for a minute? Maybe I'll just check these microphones. We'll just pause and come right back on.
We can give her a pause.
Do you think that works real quick?
Let me just we'll cut to the logo.
We're just going to pause for 5
Give a
seconds
mute.
here. Everybody, we're back live on the show.
Sorry for that short.
I feel like we fixed the microphone issues. Man, sheesh. Speaking of previews and reviews, we've had a hell of a season here on That Fantasy Show, man. We've gave it 100+% effort, I promise you.
There's been hurdles. We've had some setbacks.
Literally started from the bottom on an iPhone 8, which I still have right here, charging up, that still contributes heavily to the show. We're doing our best, man. But, here we are, week 17 of the NFL season, fantasy playoffs. We're locked and loaded. We're good to go. We got the browser ready. This is the championship matchup. Gary Vroom Jr. against Brian Wilczek. What do you say, Brian?
Flex.
How do you feel? Let me interview you like we interviewed our other guest,
Okay.
Brian Wilczek.
Oh, right.
How do you feel about your matchup this week? Where do you feel your strengths are and your weaknesses?
Well, I don't feel good, if I'm quite honest, Mike. This year, I started with one of the strongest receiving corps in fantasy football. I got Godwin, Olave, CeeDee Lamb. I got DK Metcalf.
Outstanding.
Deontay Johnson had a fire start to the year. But if I read those names off now, they're lackluster. CeeDee Lamb shut down for the year. Godwin out for the year on IR. Olave pretty much out for the rest of the year. Concussion issues, back-to-back concussions.
He's a
knocked
little
him out.
Little loopy.
Metcalf, I don't know. He's just not the guy over there at Seattle. Smith and Jigba, even Tyler Lockett getting more targets than Metcalf. It is just, you're screaming at the TV watching these games. So check out this, look at this receivers I had to push out here. Mooney, Thielen, and Metcalf. Two of those guys I didn't have on my team 3 weeks ago.
I'm going to be honest and hit you with a yikes.
Yikes.
But you got to do what you got to do here.
Right.
And
my running backs, I don't know, this got to be the best running back core in the league, quite honestly. Achane, Henry, Jacobs, and I got even a couple dudes on the bench just in case. But, trading for Bowers this year, Baker's been cooking. So there's still a chance, but I don't know. I got a little uneasy feeling.
how do you feel about what you're up against?
Man, anything could happen. I mean, we got a Lions-heavy team, obviously. Gary over there, he's got Gibbs, Laporta. He's got the kicker and the defense. So a lot rides on that Monday night game. So I'm going to be sweating out till Monday. We're not going to know tonight what's happening. So we'll see.
We're not giving away a trophy. This isn't the actual trophy for the Closing with Steve Dynasty League, but this is a trophy.
A trophy.
As we've alluded to on this show once or twice before, I started fantasy in 2005. The guy took half of the prize money and gave me a trophy that doesn't even have my name on it. And when I tell this story almost 20 years later, it's almost unbelievable. Looks like I could have bought this at a garage sale. I didn't, but this was half of my prize money, about $170. He inscribed something on it, but not my name. It's just the name of that league. I didn't even know that guy. But someone's getting a championship today, and we give our championships trophies as cash.
Cash money, baby.
Cold hard American cash, spendable anywhere. Actually, Fantrax sends that over, but I don't got to do anything to that. But metaphorically, I'm finna give somebody a trophy today.
Ooh, that Conner, James Conner, that really hurt.
That hurt him, and I'll be honest, that's what made me lose last week. Why couldn't James Conner do that for me last week? He gets 2 points last week. It's me and you in the
Son
final.
of a biscuit. I mean, but that helped, kind of erase the deficit I put myself in with Metcalf and then having to put Mooney into my lineup when I found out CeeDee Lamb was benched. Couldn't tell me that on Wednesday. I could have made it different. Like, what the heck, man?
Exactly.
What's going on out
And the
there?
waiver wire's thin in a league like this, especially when we're down. I'll be honest, Gary's team, it's pretty strong. He's on fire at the end of the season, just like he did last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, he was like the 6th seed last year and clawed his way all the way to the final.
Yeah, I was 7, so he's the underdog this year against me being the number 1 team. But last year it was a 6-7 matchup or 5-6 matchup. We get 6 teams, right?
Yeah,
So-
and it's just proof to show that no matter what, you're not out of it. All you got to do in fantasy is make it to the playoffs. It's a whole different season in the playoffs.
Yeah, you just got to squeak it in, and anything is possible.
All these teams look
Anything is
different.
possible.
In weeks 14, 15, 16, 17, these teams look different than they do weeks 1 through 13. I promise you. Congratulations if you're in your fantasy final. This is ours in the Closing with Steve Dynasty Fantasy Football League. as commissioner, I'm proud of both of these guys. These guys are good competitors. This league is tough. Someone's going to be a deserving champion, Brian.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck, Gary. I put up 210 points last week. I don't foresee that happening again. That was second highest ever in our league in the 2 years. I think Ben put up a 216 point week this year, which is insane.
Those banana slugs are tough. Those banana slugs are very tough.
I don't know. I was talking about maybe we should throw out some sort of prize for just most points. We just have like a little side pot of something. Maybe it's like a minute.
It's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
We got to add something next year too.
Traveling
Maybe some weekly highest point scores. Maybe people want to just toss a couple bucks. And there's a lot of fun things you can do in this fantasy world besides just these points and stuff.
Yeah, I gotta close the browser out. It's bogging us down. Anyway, speaking of championships, the Family League, that's coming down to Kyle and Allie.
Kyle and Allie, first and goal league.
Some similar players on those teams. Allie's had CeeDee Lamb. Wish you would have known he was out on Wednesday. Could have did things a little differently. Kyle also has James Conner. Dude put him on his bench before the game. Questionable decision.
Ooh.
Now he's coming out to be some sort of fantasy guru. He's got a crystal ball.
How about this guy?
I don't know what's going on over there.
This guy's got to be feeling like he's on top of the world. Congrats, Kyle, on a wonderful season. Congrats again, Allie, too.
Yeah.
Wonderful season.
Inaugural first and goal league in the first championship game. It's exciting.
We're growing the game. How many people are first timers in that league?
Oh man,
couple first timers, right?
4 or 5 maybe.
That's as simple as that. We're growing the game.
Shout out to the first timers, Emily.
Yeah.
John.
Oh yeah.
Jamie.
John.
My dad.
Yes,
4 first timers.
Yeah, I hope these guys are having fun. Fantasy football, it's fun. Everybody can't be in the final. People want to win a lot. Obviously, winning's fun, but you got to take losses in life. I take losses all the time. You got to keep it moving. That's what makes winning fun. Taking a couple losses.
You got to feel the downs before the up.
Winning don't feel good unless you know how bad losing feels. So I tell you, when I win this Closing with Steve Dynasty League, it's gonna happen one day. But when I do, it's gonna feel so damn good. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, fantasy's just a sport. So much to chance. You can put so much time and effort into it, and it doesn't matter. You can still get worked.
Man, how about that? We paused that for a minute. I fixed the microphone thing right up. That's crazy.
It's awesome.
Sorry about that,
Feels
everybody.
great.
Again, like I said, we're putting on a show from where we are from week 1 to week 17. We're definitely more technologically advanced. Maybe having some issues today.
And we thank you for tuning in. We're peaking at 11 viewers here. That's pretty close to our high, 12, 13. I think we've gotten there a couple times. But spread the word. Get some follows in here. That's what we really need. We need to get the follows up. That'll spread the viewership to more of the algorithm, as some would say. And, it just lets us do more of the show.
Absolutely. Obviously, we're going to keep getting better and better. That's the goal for everything. We do have some plans for a gigantic mega Super Bowl Sunday episode. Can't wait for that fantasy show episode. Stay tuned for more details. We'll have a lot of time to promote that.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Catch the reels. We're on the TikTok now, if you haven't noticed.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That Christmas Day one, that was fun.
Christmas drop. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that was fun. If you're able to catch that, that was fun. Like I said, we're just a couple family guys, man, just trying to have some fun with some sports.
We're just your average Joes.
We got something to offer.
We got a little charisma.
Not too full of ourselves. We keep it light.
Yeah.
Although I take this Closing with Steve League seriously, I'm proud and honored to be the commissioner of that league. Like I said, a lot of talent in that league.
I'm kind of like the defunct co-commissioner, since I had to
you are,
sort out a couple things.
You are my technological. I swear I'd have been lost without you at the beginning of the year.
Dude, I was scared, man. We set the league up for one week, and I'm trying to redo the whole season, and it makes you redo the first week. So I'm clicking until all the matchups line up, and
it was time sensitive, and I was stuck at a Tigers game that night.
Yeah,
so
that was crazy.
But yeah, and like I said, I get suited up for anything big in that league. Like I said, there's a lot of talent in that league. Good guys in that league. I want to make sure they know that, I got their back. We're gonna do this thing honorably and fair. And yeah, man, congrats to all the participants this year. Everybody had fun. I've talked to all the guys. Great season. Like even the last place guy, he was cool. Can't wait for next year. I'm ready to draft.
Awesome.
Like that's
Yeah,
the point
we,
of fantasy sports is to have fun.
You know, I couldn't say I personally knew everybody in the league until after doing the show. We got some FaceTime with a few people I haven't talked to before.
Now
It's
you've
pretty
talked
cool.
to them, yeah. Now you've got a face for everybody.
Yeah, we know everybody in the league.
Especially Pat, Las Vegas Pat. Let me give Pat a round of applause.
Yeah, Pat, stand-up guy.
Pat only barely knew 3 of us from a fantasy baseball league. Jumped right in and closing with Steve Lee. Guys
No
having a great
hesitation.
time. Came right on the show too, no problem.
Yeah.
So Pat, you want to be on the show? Sure, no problem. Right there. When you need me. He said that's a little early for Vegas time, but I'll be there. Again, huge supporter. Thanks for Pat.
Yeah, thanks, Pat.
So we moved out of that. We're closing with Steve Lee. Yeah, good luck to those guys. Where do you want to go from here, Brian?
Damn. I don't know. Let's just soak it in. I mean, you're sitting
Good
there
point.
on the iPhone, UNL the first week, TV in the background.
I filmed week 1 on an iPhone 8. The whole episode.
Yeah, we've had a few different
You can
devices
go live.
going live on the
On
show
iPhone.
if you haven't noticed. I don't know. We're on laptop number 3, I think.
I think it is number 3.
Number 3.
Uh,
I tried it with my old college laptop. That thing took a few dumps on us. We had some internet troubles at both locations. We changed
Both.
locations. Totally different house now. We're in my basement. We were in Mike's daughter's room the first couple weeks.
And I bet if you just sitting around, you just start thinking to yourself, oh, I'll start a podcast. It can't be that hard. I'll do this. No, we're going live. First off, we have the stones to go live and deal with these problems embarrassingly enough and just face them. But also, man, shoot, man. We started literally with nothing. It's not easy to do a podcast. There's been obstacles after obstacles, and we just keep knocking them out. We're doing okay, you know. I like where we're going. Obviously, this isn't just a one-year thing. So, yeah. I appreciate our growth, which that was one thing I was confident in. Who knows? There's still going to be problems after this. I just know we're going to face those.
Yeah.
We'll get more technologically advanced. We'll invest a little more in some equipment, and we'll keep this thing rolling. We have something to offer, but again, we're not too full of ourselves. You can go ahead and make fun of me. I don't care. You can't make fun of yourself.
Then what are you doing?
It's fine. But anyway, I just wanted to look good for the people. How's my suit look on the camera? Looks pretty good.
It's good.
I'm not a suit guy.
A little busy morning over here. I got a little off track of time. Gave Charlie a quick touch up on the haircut. He had a lion's mane, if you've seen him in the last 2 months. It was getting out of hand. It was time to shave it down. And
Yeah, I was like, you're up early too. I gotta get up early, but.
I'm over here covered in dog hair, doing my thing.
Well, either way, the plan was for us both to be in the final, and then we both be here suited up with champagne, clinking glasses and stuff. But
Dude, you're at the mercy of the matchups. Like I said, I would have beat. If I went against Gary, I would have beat him. If you would have went against Damien, you would have beat him. So.
But it is what
Man,
it is. Like I said,
crazy.
I take my L's. But again, not a suit guy. I can't get this thing off. But yeah, just for the guys. Like I said, really proud of those guys. Other than that, man, I had some bets loaded up.
I'm getting her going. We're trying here.
I know we're lagging, but we'll just try to.
All my scenes got messed up when I reformatted.
You do what you gotta do,
definition
bro. I
video.
can keep us talking, man. Our gambling record ain't the best anyway. It's not like people sitting on the edge of their seat like, all right, guys, tell me what to bet. Because since week 12, bro, you don't even. Since week 12, I'm 5-19 with these bets.
The
Overall,
losing record. It was winning the
my
whole
God.
year until the last couple weeks.
so now we are in the red. That's the first time I had to make that text part of the graphic in red, and it is what it is. I'll sit here in a suit, in a microphone, and I'll own that record. Brian, you got a little hand in that, but that's mostly me. It's not all Brian. You don't have to take all that heat. But,
a
however,
little heat.
I'll be honest. So, this is what I wanted to talk about, though. The last couple weeks, I'd say about the last 5-6 weeks, I've been studying these.
Yeah.
I've been over-studying. I've been putting a lot of thought in this. I tell you, I stay up till like 2 o'clock on Saturdays, like, trying to figure this stuff out. But here's the thing. I was over-studying. You ever do that for anything? Like,
all the time.
you just study too much, you scramble your own brain?
Yeah,
Bro.
It's easy to overthink anything.
Nope, those early season picks right there, I was just going with gut. I was just being freaking cocky. There's no way. Yeah, I'll take this. So for this week's flavor, all of this stuff was, I just went back to the old gut. Trust your gut.
Gotta go to your roots.
Sometimes you're not wrong. First thing I saw, this one was my most confident one. Not because the Cowboys are the better team. It's because Kenny Pickett is starting for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, yeah. You watched last week. Hurts went out with concussion.
His last name is literally Pickett for a guy who throws the ball and you don't want it to get picked.
Pick it up.
I'm sorry. I'm sure there's a lot of stats and I'm sure there's a lot of public money and everything that I used the last few weeks to study. I didn't study a lick of that. We just went from my eyeball test, watching these games. Kenny Pickett's not good. The Eagles already got their spot in the playoffs. It is what it is. They don't got too much to play for.
Not
Cowboys.
much to
Give me the Cowboys and the points. I think the Cowboys could win that game, but
Even without CeeDee Lamb?
I
it's
just like I said, this could be closer than 7, but I think the Cowboys could win. But I'm not ballsy enough to go ahead and put that on my record. My record's terrible as it is. But Cowboys plus 7, I feel confident in that without even studying.
Here's another one.
What do you think of this? What's your first thoughts when you see that?
I mean, it's a tight spread. A couple teams are frankly not doing well.
Would you call this another ass bowl?
It's an ass ball.
Oh.
Levis is not playing. I don't know if that's better or worse for the Titans.
Yeah, I don't think it
Kinda-
matters who they're trotting out
That
out
tells
there.
you. That tells you I feel.
Every time I've had faith in that Titans team, they've let me down. Yeah, just when I studied this, the Jaguars looked nice the last couple weeks. I'm not going to say they look good, look great.
Yeah, most of their starters still. You know.
They just seem more along than the Titans. Give me the Jaguars and those points. They'll cover that 2 points, no problem.
A lot of cats on the show today.
This one, that's the lowest over-under total I've seen in a long time.
That's very
There
low.
may have been lower ones this season. I don't know. Again, I specifically didn't want to study
The
stats.
Dolphins have just been very underwhelming this
Yeah.
year. Last year they looking like point juggernauts, and then
Yeah,
Tua goes through a few concussions, and this is where we're at.
and it's not like the Browns look like, the greatest show on turf Rams, but
The Browns can put up some points.
these are two NFL teams. That over-under is set at 33 to me. That's just
like
too low.
17 points a team. That's
Yeah,
really
my
low.
first thought was just, it's ridiculously low. I'm very confident in this. No studying.
Book the over.
Give me that. I don't care where the public money is.
Ooh,
and
I-
then this one,
I
you're gonna
placed
love
the same
that.
bet, actually.
I've went against these boys a couple times, just trying to be logical.
Yeah.
But if you want the honest truth, this is a rematch from that NFC Championship game,
I
like
think-
you said during Ellis Picks.
I think Dan Campbell, he swings his balls on this game.
Yeah, they all got some extra steam behind them this game, and this is going to get out of hand. There's going to be no mercy in this game. These boys want blood.
Yeah.
This gritty Lions team, they're not messing
They
around.
don't care
This
if
is
the
going to
Niners
be
are
out of
any
hand.
good.
3.5. That spread should have easily been 8.5, and then we go from there. I don't
Yeah,
care
I
where
don't
this
know.
game's being played. You could play this game on a tennis court. Give me the Lions
Give
minus
the Lions
3.5.
forward down the field.
So yeah, that's 4 picks for this week. I could go over 500 again after this week, and that's my goal. I think I'm clean sweeping this week.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm confident because it's the old gut, it's the trusty gut.
Trust the guts.
How do you like the graphics this week?
They're good.
They got
the
better on the
logos in the
graphics.
background.
Uh,
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of off time to really polish things up.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get the hardware upgrades. We'll get some set upgrades. Things are gonna look nicer. We're gonna feel nicer. We're gonna spread the word. I think the audience is gonna grow. Tell your friends.
Yeah, I
Get some
can't.
follows.
I can't wait to get good at promoting.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a promoter.
You
Like, how
promoted
is it?
like the heck out of it leading up, and I
Right.
think that's why it was so like, oh man, this is gonna be good. And then we started low, so people saw that.
Right.
And, I think we dropped them off as we went, but now the product's much better. So if we promote it again,
Yeah.
I think the result will be different.
And if that's what I gotta do, like figure out promoting, I can obviously talk about anything, talk my way in and out of stuff, but
Those videos
we're
were fire.
we're gonna get it going, man, and we could be funny.
We're gonna do some push-ups.
Those push-up videos, that was fun, man.
You wouldn't understand.
The good cop, bad cop thing I was doing there. That was. I actually wanted to get you in one of those
Yeah,
videos, but
we'll get one here.
But yeah, hey man, I'm just trying. I had a dream, like I don't know what was I supposed to do, man. I had to get started. I actually had different visions for how this was gonna start, and it just didn't work out. And the vision might have changed, but the whole dream was still there, man.
Yeah.
And what am I gonna do, man? Mid-40s, man. I can't be giving up on stuff like that no more. So I put a lot of effort into this, and like I said, I'm definitely not gonna say we're a good show, like we've said a few times, but Yeah, we're putting in some effort, man, and I'm not counting me out. Definitely not counting you out.
No, we're gonna see it through. I think less frequently in the off season, we'll still have stuff to talk about. We might hit a little basketball, a little baseball.
We pop in here and there.
Yeah, we'll be here. Maybe once a month. We'll schedule us for that.
I feel like, what did you think though? Were we gonna pop in next week and crown our champion, or
We might have to.
I feel like we should pop in next week.
I think the laptops it can get us through that much.
We can do something and sit here and at least talk about the championship. We'd hate to go through the whole season and then leave everybody on a cliffhanger, even if our everybody is less than 50 people. Like, we love all 50 of you. Yeah, we got to tell these people who a champion is, and if Gary is a champion, we're at least getting some kind of video. And if it's you, we're gonna sit here and yeah, we're gonna let you talk to the people and tell them how it feels to be a back-to-back champ.
Yeah, oh man.
We can't leave the people hanging like that yet. And then, like I said, I got plans for a Super Bowl episode, man. You want to sit here and discuss that, or we're just gonna fade out of this?
Super Bowl.
Like I got a couple ideas for the Super Bowl. I want to give back, and I'll be honest, I don't necessarily know how to do that. Again, I'm not a event organizer for charity, but I feel like we can do something for that, Brian. We have a very small platform, but I thought about, setting up a GoFundMe. Maybe we can raise some money for the Detroit local food bank or something like that. And
good local cause.
and we got a month here, before the Super Bowl comes up, and we can sit here and get some content together, lead up to the Super Bowl. Maybe we can get a food eating contest, and we can get a couple guys together, and if people eat a certain amount of something, maybe we'll donate a certain amount of money or something. But maybe we can just do something to give back, but also preview the Super Bowl and put some excitement into the big game.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love the
Big
Super Bowl?
things coming. Oh, everybody loves Super Bowl. Even people that watch sports. Party of the year, really.
Ooh, I can't wait to make the graphics of our favorite Super Bowl snacks. That one just came to
Oh,
me. Super Bowl is like,
I love the
there's, like,
countdowns. The
no
little,
rules.
Yep.
No rules for food.
Yeah, our little rankings. We rank this, we rank that. We talk fantasy.
Oh, those are so fun. Anyway, yeah.
But man,
So yeah, I guess we rolled right along this week.
we did. We got on time.
A little rough. Computer's a little rough.
Yeah,
but
viewership's dropped a little in the last few minutes. People are, they're getting their Sundays going. But thanks for spending yours with us this morning.
I
It's
appreciate
that
it.
fantasy show. It's Championship Sunday in the fantasy world for most leagues. You're just crazy if you do it next week. But anyway, thank you for having us, and we'll catch you next week at our regularly scheduled time.
Thanks, America. Hope you win your championship.
Thank you.